Pixelmer here, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about why I think Breath of the Wild is the best game ever made. So I've got 12 reasons here why I think so, and so let's just get into it. So first of all, I love the graphics of the game. The graphics may not be 4K, but they're even better than 4K in some ways, because they are, I think, 1080p if I'm not mistaken, and they have like a sort of painted style, which really fits to the style of the game. The game is supposed to feel natural and old-fashioned, I guess. At least that's how it seems to me. But the graphics, although they're not 4K, they look much better than many 4K games because it shouldn't look completely realistic, this game. It should look somewhat realistic, and it turns out so amazing that it's hard not to like. Anyway, point number 2, there are lots of items. But here's the thing, they don't have too many. They're not overdoing it. In Borderlands, for example, they have over 18 million weapons, and I think that's just way too much. In Breath of the Wild, you have a couple hundred weapons, a lot of which are variations, and you have a bunch of different things you can collect. But you don't have to read up on every new thing, because some of them are very self-explanatory, and once you know what one does, it's hard to forget about it, because it's a good amount. It's a balance between too many and too little, so you have a great amount of weapons. Point number 3, it has a good storyline for an open-world game. So, open-world games aren't exactly known for having good storylines. Minecraft, for example, doesn't even have a storyline. But in this case, a storyline is necessary, even though it's an open world game. But many people complained about the storyline anyway, which isn't surprising because the series is generally just an RPG series. But I think they did the storyline really well for an open world game because the game was supposed to feel open and free. It wasn't supposed to feel limited. And they did a great job of doing that because the storyline is nice and simple. You try to defeat the bad guy by gathering up some allies and then attacking him. Pretty simple, but it works. And I don't think that it's a bad storyline at all, unlike what most people think. Number 4, it has a huge world. So some people may be thinking right now, No Man's Sky, Minecraft, they all have bigger worlds than this. And yes, that's true, but it's not randomized, and that's what makes it so amazing. Because randomized worlds are often criticized for being bland, and they have a lot of reason to say that, because you can't have too many details in randomized worlds, otherwise those details will show up way more often than they really should. And so Breath of the Wild is really good because you have all these features all over the place, but there's a lot to see, not just one time you see a couple things and then it's over. So again, just like with items, I think it finds a good balance in between too little and too many. Number 5, the physics are well done. So that was actually one thing that a lot of reviewers said was awesome about the game. The physics are so good. They're not ultra realistic, of course, because otherwise Link wouldn't be able to jump so high. But they're realistic and well done that it actually feels comfortable. And a lot of games had the problem that jumping just didn't feel right or walking didn't feel right. But Breath of the Wild apparently did it really well because people loved it. Number 6, the game takes long to finish. So a lot of games are way too short and it just feels like, man, that wasn't even worth the money. Even though it was a good game, it didn't take long, and Breath of the Wild did a great job of keeping me interested for a long time. My first playthrough of the game was at least 300 hours, and I'm already on my second playthrough because of its awesome replayability. And that is really awesome how it takes so long to finish. There's so much to do, from Koroks, if you actually enjoy those, shrines, and who knows what. Like, there's so much to do. There's Easter eggs, there's all sorts of stuff. Number 7, there's lots of room for Easter eggs and inventions. So, a lot of open world games have the problem that there's not many Easter eggs because it's hard to put Easter eggs into something randomized. But Breath of the Wild is not randomized, and so there's lots and lots of Easter eggs. like the Satori Mountain Easter egg. If you don't know about that, you might want to search it up. It's awesome. But at the same time, small open world games usually don't have a whole lot of inventing in it. By that I mean, like in Minecraft, there's redstone machines, and Breath of the Wild has stuff like the flying machine, and that is usually only possible in a big open world game. But Breath of the Wild isn't even humongous. It's big, but not humongous. And it's surprising that there's so many inventions and Easter eggs there, and it's a great balance once again. Like, Breath of the Wild is a really well-balanced game in so many ways. But anyway, number 8, Breath of the Wild has a modding community. Now, that may seem like, oh yeah, well, Minecraft has a modding community, so many games have modding communities, but when you think about it, not that many games actually have one, especially not Nintendo games. And that's what makes it so special again. There's things like the Linkle mod and all sorts of mods I don't even know about. Everything from Linkle all the way to Thomas the Train. Don't even ask about that one. It's stupid. Anyway, number 9, there's a feel of nature. So, by that I mean, it feels so natural. And it's like you're in nature the entire time, or at least a lot of the time. It feels like there's birds and insects everywhere, and although that seems sort of dumb as a reason to play Breath of the Wild, it's like if it's raining outside and you want to go outside, that's probably the next best thing you can do with video games. It's so close to nature that it's really enjoyable for people who like going outside, but can't. Number 10, it's mostly glitch-free. So by mostly, I mean, sure, there's still some glitches, but they're hard to find, and generally, you're only going to find them if you want to find them. And that's a great thing, because a game without glitches also isn't very much fun, because don't you love those YouTubers who exploit glitches and do hilarious things? I know I do. Like Medi333, for example. If you've ever seen him, you'll know that he does a lot of Breath of the Wild glitches, and it's awesome, because there's so many Breath of the Wild glitches, just not a lot of glitches that actually change the gameplay and make it annoying. And that's what's awesome. You can use glitches if you want, but you don't have to. They're not in your way. They're just in the background, and if you want to find them, you can. Number 11, funny conversation options and characters. So, by that I'm saying that when you're talking, sometimes you'll be given funny options in speech that you probably wouldn't say in real life, and will make you curious what happens if you say them. I don't really have any examples at the moment, but there are quite a few of them. And the funny characters, well, there's plenty of them, but 2 of my favorites were Beetle and the Crazy Flower Lady, especially the Crazy Flower Lady. So Beetle is an odd, that's putting it nicely, an odd merchant who loves beetles. He collects them. I guess that's not really surprising considering his name, but he is strange. Because what happens is that if you have a rare type of beetle in your inventory, he'll somehow know that it's there and ask you to sell it to him. If you don't sell it to him, then he will start quietly plotting to take it away from you and replace it with a regular beetle. But then he'll suddenly realize that you're still there, and he'll be acting as if everything's normal. It's actually quite funny, and you should try it out for yourself if you haven't already. The other person, the Crazy Flower Lady, is even better, because there's a shrine in the game where there are a bunch of flowers all around, and you do not want to step on them, because this lady loves her flowers. And there's a little path going through it, but if you touch the flowers, she'll get annoyed, and you'll have to start all over again. Do it a second time, same thing. But you do it a third time, and that's where things get weird. So first of all, she gets really, really mad and starts stomping all over her own flowers, which is really ironic. But then it gets even funnier because she takes you and she says, "Feel the flowers rage," and then the screen goes black and you just hear Link yelling, and I don't even know what to make of it. Make of that what you will, but it's I don't even want to think about what that could be. So anyway, then number 12, the ambience is great. So not everyone likes ambience, but The thing is, if you love ambience like me, then you're going to enjoy the ambience in Breath of the Wild. They did it really well. And again, with the whole feel of nature point that I was talking about, it feels so natural, and like it's the kind of music you would listen to if you were going outside, if you were to listen to music outside. But basically, guys, those were my reasons why I think Breath of the Wild is the best game ever made. Obviously, I have some more reasons, but those are my biggest ones, and I think you guys should all go play it if you haven't already, because it is an amazing game, and you're missing out if you don't. And it's the game that introduced me to Legend of Zelda, and I can't wait to play the next Legend of Zelda game. But yeah, anyway, guys, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Wow, I can't even talk properly. Bye.